All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will complete this builder real quick here. And we're going to jump right into problem number 1. Simplify 36 over 12. Okay, so a couple things. First of all, 36 divided by 12 is just 3. So if you knew that, then you could say, oh, this just equals 3. Okay? But let's say you didn't know that, you weren't sure about that. You could say, okay, 36 divided by 6 and 12 divided by 6, because I know both of those divide by 6. 36 divided by 6 is 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. But we can reduce that further. Usually you can get it from here. Divide the top and the bottom by 2 now, and you get 3 over 1. And 3 over 1 is just 3. The other way you could do it is in the calculator. You can do, if you haven't seen this before, alpha y equals, and then down here hit enter. And you'll get this little fraction, okay? So basically just put the fraction in there. What was it, 36 over 12? Just put the fraction in there and then hit enter. And then it just gives you the answer, okay? So if you're using a calculator or by hand. Moving on to number 2, solve 4x equals 48. Okay, what do I do here? Anybody get the answer? Correct. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. And CJ, I'm going to show you your method here in a second. But here's the way you do it by hand. Divide both sides by 4. Cancel, cancel. Now you have x equals 48 divided by 4. Okay, so if we didn't know what that is, we've got a couple of options. 48 divided by 4. Here we could do it long division style. 4 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. No remainder. Bring down the 8. 4 goes into 8 two times. So 48 divided by 4 is 12. So the answer is 12. Now let's say you didn't know that. You were uncomfortable with that. Let's go to CJ's method. We're going to go to the calculator. We're going to go to y equals. We're going to put the left side of the original equation, 4x, we're going to put that in y1. Is this what you were meaning? Yeah. We're going to put the right side, which was 48, in y2. And then we're going to hit graph. Is it graph or is it second graph? Second graph. Second graph. And what we're looking for is where the y's are the same. Ooh, there it is. So notice this. The y's are the same when x equals 12. So the answer is x equals 12. Okay? So whether you do it on the calculator or by hand, that's it. So let's reduce 18 over 45. Well, I know that 18 can be divided by 9. And I know that 45 can be divided by 9. 18 divided by 9 is 2. 45 divided by 9 is 5. So the answer is 2/5, because that's irreducible fraction. But what if I didn't know that? I could go to my calculator. I could go to alpha y equals enter. And I could just put this fraction in, 18 over 45. Okay. So when we're doing this on paper, you see it automatically reduces the fraction answer, so it gives you the correct answer. If we're doing these paper assignments and I say don't use a calculator, then I don't want you to use one unless you have an accommodation that says you can. But if you are using a calculator, this is how you do it. And if you're taking the STAR test, this is how you do it. All right. So we've moved on from number 3. We're going to number 4. Now, I'm going to do this by hand, and then I'll show it on the calculator. Okay. So by hand, we would do 5 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45. So I write the 5, and I put a little 4 up here. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 4 is 13. Okay, so it's 135. Now, if you didn't know that, you could just go to the calculator and do 15 times 9. 135. Okay? Moving on to number 5. We're going to do some long division. All right? How many times does 3 go into 1? Say 0. 0. How many times does 3 go into 19? 6. Okay. Good. 6 times 3 is 18. 19 minus 18 is 1. Bring down the 5. How many times does 3 go into 15? 5. So 195 divided by 3 is 65. Let's check it in the calculator. 195 divided by 3 is 65. Okay. So far, so good. We're moving on to number 6. We're almost done. Find the greatest common factor of 96 and 72. Okay? So what I'm going to show you is the method that will always produce the correct result. Okay? So this is an even number, so we're going to divide by 2. Can somebody with their calculator out do 96 divided by 2 for me? 48. Can you do 48 divided by 2 for me? 24, so 2 and 24. And then we know that if we break 24 down, it's 2 and 12, and then 2 and 6, and finally 2 and 3. Okay, and we've gotten down to primes. So we can build a list. Let me let you guys write that. Okay, so here's how we do it. Ready? Here are all of our multiple pairs. We're going to make a list. So this is for 96. We can do 2 times 48. Okay? We can do 2 times 2, which is 4, times 24. Okay? And all of these, if you multiply these together, you get 96. Now we can do 2 times 2 times 2. That's 8. Times 12. Okay. We can do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 16. Times 6. Okay. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 32 times 3. Okay, so we've made all of our possible products. All right. Now, here's the thing. One of these numbers is going to be the greatest common factor, but we have to do the same thing for 72 before we know what it is. So let's break down 72. Patricia, can you choose a color? Blue. Okay. Zach, you're the man with the calculator. What's 72 divided by 2, sir? So 2 and 36. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So you've got 2 and 18, then 2 and 9, and then 3 and 3. Okay, so once again, we're going to build our list. Over here, we've got 72. So that can be 2 times 36. or it can be 2 times 2, which is 4 times 18. Or it can be 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 times 9. Whoa, what's going on there? I don't know what that was. Let me get rid of that. That was weird, wasn't it? Hang on, yeah, it's freaked out. Or we can do 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So that's 8 times 2. That's 24 times 3. Okay. Well, no, wait a minute. Yeah, see, so the difficulty I'm having here is I'm missing one of my factor pairs, and it's disturbing me. You see the problem? I'm missing 12 times 6. I don't know why that keeps popping up. I don't know why, I need to look at my method. But anyway, write down 12 times 6 as well, okay? So, actually, let me write it this way. I'll have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. But we've got that, sorry, I wanted to write 6 times 12. Okay, so we've got that final. So we look at these two lists, okay? And we look at these two lists, and you tell me what is the biggest number that is in both lists. 12. Very good. So circle the 12 in both lists. That is the greatest common factor of 96 and 72. Okay, so you can just come over here and put 12, circle it. And there's a method to do that where you'll always get it, and apparently that's not the method. Okay. All right, moving on to number 7. This really should say add. So 7x plus 4x, what is it? 11x. Okay, very easy. There's not really any way to check that in the calculator. It's just adding 7 and 4 and carrying the x. Okay, multiplying a 4-digit number by a 2-digit number. Caitlin, can you choose a new color for us? Green. All right. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. Carry the 2. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Second. Oh, we're not done yet. So now we'll do 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So now I'm going to draw a line. Okay, and add. This is basically a 0. So 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 8 is 15. So we write a 5 and carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 4. That's 2 plus 4. That's 6. 5 plus 4 is 9. And then 3 comes down. So the number should be Is this what you got? Okay. 39,652. Okay. Now we're going to do number 9. We're going to divide a decimal by a decimal. Now, when you do this, the very first thing you do is you move the decimal over to the right one place, put it there. And then you have to do the same thing inside. So now we're dividing 1,955 by 5. So we ask the question, how many times does 5 go into 1? 0 times. How many times does 5 go into 19? 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay. And 19 minus 15? Yep. Bring down the 5. How many times does 5 go into 45? 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So there's no remainder. We bring down that final 5. How many times does 5 go into 5? 1. So if we put this in the calculator, we should get 391 as our quotient. Can somebody check that for me? Just to make sure that we're right. It's correct? All right, guys. So moving on, our last problem. Which of these two graphs is a graph of y equals 2x minus 3? Here's how you do this. I want you to focus your attention on this negative 3 right here. What do we call that? It's the something intercept. The y-intercept. The y-intercept. That means that that's where the line crosses the y-axis. Now, which one's the y-axis? The vertical or the horizontal line? The vertical line, yeah. Okay. So which one of these graphs shows a line crossing the vertical axis at negative 3? B. Right. So over here, it's negative 3. Now, what is this number that I'm going to highlight in orange? What do we call that number? Okay. Starts with an S. And it rhymes with rope. Slope. So the slope is 2. That means rise 2, run 1. Okay? So let's check and see if this B actually follows that. If we start here at the y-intercept, we should be able to go up 2, over 1, and we should be back on the line. Let's do that. Up 1, up 2, over 1. I'm back on the line. So the slope checks out. It's 2 over 1. 2. Okay? So for that reason, it's B. It's just circle B. Okay, for my viewers at home, that is the end of this video. Grade yourself by counting up the number you got wrong, and come over here. And I'll do an example for my folks in class. This is also for you. Let's just say, for example, I missed 3, okay? What I would do is each one's worth 1 point. So what I would do is I'd start at 100 and I'd subtract 3. And so my grade, if I missed 3, would be a 97. So I want you to put your grade in that box for me. This is Scout's Honor, right? I'm going to trust you, honor code, to tell me your correct grade. So just write it in there, okay? All right, so for my viewers at home, I do appreciate you watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, which is Athenian Stranger. Okay, so thank you very much for watching.